Hey everyone, it's Emily Hemingway with TechSTL. We are the Tech Council here in St. Louis and proud to serve as the voice of innovation of the Gateway City. In this show, we interview the top CEOs, executive directors, and overall disruptors of emerging technology, all coming from here, St. Louis. And I am thrilled today to be joined with one of our most exciting founders that we've got. He recently was listed in St. Louis Inno as one of the top startups to watch here in 2023. And I've heard so many great things about Sam Cummings and his company DataPlant. So I'm super excited to be able to learn more about it. Sam, thanks for joining me today and for coming out.
My honor.
Awesome. Well, so you traveled the world as the head of data science at a unicorn called Gainsight, became an award-winning customer success manager at LinkedIn, and led enterprise teams at companies that we all know like Indeed. How was that experience, and where did you get the idea to found DataPlant?
Well, number one, again, can't say this enough. Thank you for this opportunity. TechSTL is a phenomenal organization, and to be a part of its tapestry is a true honor. So with that said, I just had an opportunity to see all companies grapple with the problem, and that's empathy. How do we have empathy for our customers? And what I mean by that is, how do you have an understanding of what their needs, what their challenges are at a real fundamental level? And so I got a chance to see that in a lot of different ways. So as a head of data science, I got a chance to go to Sydney, Australia, London, San Francisco, just travel the world and stand on stage with the companies I worked with in tackling that problem. And then actually being a CSM, so a customer success manager, for those who don't know, we're the ones that manage a customer once they sign for a deal. So, that kind of experience of working with someone over the course of a year, 2-3 years, to get the value out of something that they bought, empathy is critical. And so just having that experience going from, data science role, so analyzing the data on experiences, to being a customer success manager, leading experiences with my customers, to being a head of a department, essentially leading a team of people that manage customers. So had so much experience seeing where it goes right and where it goes wrong. And where DataPlant came from is I saw that it's kind of like the Wizard of Oz. You go behind the screen and you find out that the wizard's really, a bunch of smoke and mirrors. And I say that to say that most companies don't have, no matter how big they are, they all don't have everything figured out. They might have one piece here, and this company has this piece, or this company understands this really well, or does this process really well. But all of us have room to grow, whether you're large or small. And so I looked at those challenges, looked at those opportunities, said, let's make a better way. And that's where we built DataPlant.
I love that, especially the combination of data and empathy. As a storyteller myself, that's one of the, I think, secret sauces of TechSTL is that we're able to really marry the two. Yeah, that's where real magic happens.
Definitely.
So tell me, why do you think now is such a unique time for the world of software?
This is a priceless time to be a part of. And I'll say that because we've had a couple of them in our lifetimes, right? We remember when the internet was first created. Well, I'll date myself. I remember when, first started getting on the internet. AOL, anyone who did the dial-up, shout out, right? But we've also had a couple other ones. Remember when cell phones first blew up, right? And everyone started having cell phones? These innovations transformed our lives. And again, we're not from the time when the Industrial Revolution took place, but obviously that changed for people's lives at that time too. Well, we're at another one. And this other one is called generative AI. And what that means is you have AI that can generate things that were typically thought to be only done by a human. In the past, there's no way an AI can write a poem, or an AI can make a piece of artwork, or even write a novel. Well, we're in that time. And so it's an exciting time in software because the way software has been built was a basic formula in the past, especially in the business space. You take human energy and you convert that to technical configuration. And what I mean by that is someone sits in front of a computer, plays with the keyboard, and configures whatever tools you want to use. That approach, again, is a core formula. You take human energy, you put it into a system, and that creates essentially whatever configuration or whatever tool set up the way you want. Once it's set up, you then have to maintain it. So the core life of any of these systems is human effort and energy. And that shift essentially has occurred over the last year here, where, again, the idea that you need anything to get done, you got to have a human do the work has now shifted with this emergence of generative AI. Now, instead of you having to, use a software experience where you have to set up, build, and configure things, the systems can auto-configure themselves. This is a revolutionary change. And so now is a time that where you can expect, as far as a consumer of products, that the tools that you'll use, they'll be smarter, they'll be easier to use, and they'll be way more effective in helping you achieve the goals that you want. And so if you're, anytime in this world, you get a chance to see them. We've had the honor of seeing multiple, again, internet, cell phone, now generative AI.
Yeah, I mean, AI is so hot. We cannot talk enough about it right now. Everybody has so many questions. And so DataPlant is like ChatGPT, but for insights. Now, obviously, I've heard of ChatGPT and some of the other image generators, but what is generative AI and how is DataPlant different than what we've seen before?
Yeah, and give a little context. So everyone who knows ChatGPT might not know, essentially it's a language model that's been released by a company called OpenAI. And really what it does is allow for you to just send basic text prompts, and it essentially communicates you as if it's a person. And so ChatGPT is an example. There's other ones out there that do a similar thing, but for images, like Stable Diffusion or Mind Journey. Again, putting those out there for someone to go do a Google. But there's tons of tools now that can convert raw human language into outputs. And so whether that's, I want to have the AI create a song for me, or I want to have the AI to write a piece of paper, essentially write a paper for me as if I was in college and write my essays. Like, these things are now in the time of now. And what, again, makes DataPlant really unique is we're taking this and applying it in the business context. So the same effort gains, the same value boost of being able to take the human energy out of these systems and allow for the automation to really drive the power of these platforms, that is going to be revolutionary in a lot of contexts. But in the business context, this is where it has the biggest opportunity to help companies be better, empathetic, partners for their customers that they work with. And the reason why is today, companies essentially build out all of their reporting, their analytics, and their insights, and then have to maintain that. So imagine if things change, like when COVID hit, all of a sudden, all these companies had all these structures that they had built for years. They had, built all the rules to bring all the data together, built all the reports to, analyze it, built all the databases. So they have put years of human energy over, a course of various different projects, all into what creates their architecture. Well, that architecture can be disrupted overnight. And that's what happened with COVID. All these companies had these rules that said, in their systems that said, if someone logs in less than 30 times, then mark them as risky. If they log in more than 30 times, mark them as healthy. All these basic rules like that. And what that led to was, when the world shifts, because we are in a world of change, right? The world changes all the time. Your systems don't. And so that's where companies get caught flat-footed, where their systems are rigid, structured, built, and maintained, but the world is ever changing. And that is where, again, AI is really going to be a part of this, and where DataPlant is leading the charge. And that is, if we can create systems that self-configure themselves, that take all that human work effort out of it and allow for us to get that value, now we can be agile. When anything happens, whether it's market changes, whether it's societal changes, macroeconomics, you could completely restructure your data architecture to be able to understand the new factors of business, the new drivers of behavior. And it's that kind of shifting that, again, is going to make this a real transformer for the world.
So I want to talk a little bit again about how you are adding value to local businesses. So you say that DataPlant will be the new calculator. Anyone will be able to create insights and use them just like anyone can use a calculator. But how do you see the world changing with tools like DataPlant becoming more and more mainstream?
I think we all have an experience with a calculator. And I think that's one thing that, again, we can't underestimate its impact on the world. Again, I could be an accountant, not have to know all the details of math, but can use a calculator to do my job. I can be a scientist. I don't have to know all the details of how to do graphing functions, but I can do my science. The calculator has been a universal tool for all disciplines to be able to improve and do their job in a more effective way. The calculator has been a forcing function. Essentially, it allows for the force of one person to be multiplied by augmenting them with mathematical abilities. Now, you still have to know how to use a calculator. You got to know what the different functions and all the funky buttons at the top do. But the point is still, a calculator allows for anyone, even, whether you're good at math, you're medium at math, just know how to press buttons, to be able to do basic math functions. DataPlant is doing the same thing for insights. Today, to get insights, to really perform analysis at an enterprise level, you're going to need a team of people, you're going to need multiple systems and tools, and you're going to need tons of hours to get it done. And it's that experience that's the same as it would have been as if I wanted to be an architect and do my design work without a calculator. I'd have to go do freehand long division or go do freehand, Pythagorean theorem to figure out the angles, right? So that work essentially has allowed for the modern society that we know to be possible. And it all goes back to the calculator. Well, DataPlant is doing the same thing for insights. And that's the exciting opportunity here is with DataPlant going mainstream, any person anywhere, no matter how big your business, you just started up a small business, you have a couple customers buying your service, you can run analytics. If you have a warehouse and you're shipping goods, you can run analytics on your vendors. If you have a store and you're selling products, you can run analytics on your products in your store. And again, not be hampered by needing, 4 data scientists, a whole entire analytics team, a data architecture, and really be able to thrive and be great at what you do. So yes, DataPlant is the modern day calculator.
Well, what's so exciting too is that, here at TechSTL, we talk about how every business, whether it's a small business or a high growth startup or a major corporation, every business now has to have a digital footprint, and they need to understand what that presence really means for their business. And it seems like, you are such a powerful tool in giving those companies the ability to really monitor and track the efficacy of those digital tools. That's really exciting.
Yes.
So what's next for DataPlant, and why St. Louis?
St. Louis is special. And again, if you look at our history and our location and just the storyline of St. Louis, right? Just from the World's Fair, right? Again, the fact that we have been a beacon of innovation, boxing above our size, just, for decades, right? I came up in the time when Nelly came up. We had the Cardinals, we had the Rams, we had the Blues. It was a beautiful time. Well, that time is again for St. Louis. It's our time again. And what I see is so beautiful about St. Louis is, again, from the rich, colleges, we have tons of education opportunities. We have tons of great neighborhoods that produce tons of great talent. I'm really excited about St. Louis because not only is it such a great producer of good people and good talent, but also it's such a great affordable city to be in. And so you get the best of both worlds. And what I really see forward coming with DataPlant is we building and growing in St. Louis and really establishing our stake in this world with St. Louis at the core. We couldn't have grown as fast, and we couldn't have developed as fast without our city behind us. But what DataPlant's got in front of us is something really exciting. We're going to be making a huge announcement for those who might be watching this. It might already be out by the time it's here, so I'll just say it. We are going to be rolling out Success GPT. So you might have heard of Chat GPT, right? You heard about it before. But what our feature Success GPT is going to do is let you give us any goal. So you give any goal that you want to achieve on a thing. So I want to have this customer increase their number of users by 50%. That's the goal. You put that into DataPlant, and it'll give you suggestions on how to achieve it. So here's a new novel thing where everybody can have a personal ability to coach them on how to achieve their business or personal goals. And so this is, again, part of that innovation that, again, we're going to be a part of, and it's going to be coming straight from the Midwest out of St. Louis.
That is so exciting. So for those who want to learn more about that new product, where should they go to find out?
Hey, so catch us on thedataplant.com, or you can catch me on LinkedIn under DataPlant. Again, we're super excited to support and work with you. Again, this is one of those rare times in history where you got to see the next internet, the next cell phone be born right in front of your eyes.
Well, and Sam, we are absolutely going to keep you in the mix here. I want to talk to you about getting on the agenda for Tech Week for sure. But I also just want to thank you for joining me today and talking more about what's going on with DataPlant. So congratulations too on being recognized in St. Louis Inno.
Thank you. And shout out to you, Emily. You're doing such great work. All of us founders, we hear and we see your work being done, and the community only gets a small fraction to see it, but I'm proud of you and proud of your work you're being done here.
Thanks, Sam. Well, so if you want to find out more information about Sam and other great tech startups that we have here in St. Louis, check us out online at techstl.com. We'll make sure to point you in the direction of DataPlant as well. And stay tuned for more interviews that we've got coming up on our YouTube channel here. Thanks again, Sam, for joining us, and we will see you all next time. Bye for now.